I'm just saying this for myself as well and encouraging myself to like not unplug, not to give up, especially during a season where it could feel so bleak, but especially when I've been on a transition where I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of good. Like they can do whatever they want to do, but like I'm just about to be here chilling, like in the backyard. It's like, yeah, girl, you chilling in your beautiful, abundant backyard, you glowing and shit, your baby and your man and your house and da 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 da. What about the rest of the world though? If this is your opportunity to play your game, what does that game look like? How y'all doing? The sun is out. It's looking good. I gotta show y'all the rose bush. Okay. Look at it. Oh my God. This is absolutely my favorite time of year when the rose bushes in the back by the garden start to bloom. Oh my God. Okay, I haven't taken a bath yet this spring/summer, so I gotta clean that out. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, but I just had to share that. Look, that's the only cute visuals y'all getting. Okay, so just know we about to nestle in, have a little chitter chatter. So y'all know y'all gonna have me throw me on in the background. It's fine. Y'all, she getting big and round. Okay, she getting big and round. The sun was out. Little piece of pollen that went and flew in my water. It is what it is. We'll try to sip around that. How y'all doing? Let me know in the comments, okay? I was like, let me come out in the backyard and ramble with the people. Because y'all know I have thoughts. Let me know what y'all been up to. It's always great checking in. Look, let me check the comments. I think Tam had commented. It's a few of y'all. I love reading y'all comments and seeing what y'all up to. Like, for real, for real. I feel like we got a little community. Yeah, shout out to Tam. Hey, Tam. Yes. You were saying the concert in the rain sounded like a vibe. It truly, truly was. And I'm glad to hear that you've been reading a lot more. Get it, sus. Dear Brianna, hey. I'm glad I'll be making y'all laugh, too. I be out here just chuckling, cracking myself up. So I'm like, okay, if somebody else out here is laughing, then, like, I feel good about that, okay? So, okay, so here are some of the updates. Y'all know we just be chit-chatting, talking about the vibe. This weekend, I must have slept for like 26 hours. It was so amazing. I felt so good. I'm just so grateful. Oh, this is what I was thinking about, just even with me sleeping like that. I feel like letting go of my art studio was one of the best decisions I could have made for myself. Like, it is crazy. Like, and you know, whenever I'm sharing stuff, it just only be the tip of the iceberg. Man, I wonder if I should put the wind protector thing on there. Let me get that. I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's not too bad. Yes, it's windy. It's windy. Girl, get the audio right. If you gonna do it, do it. Look at the butterflies. Hey. Hey. Okay. I put the little fuzzy wuzzy on. It's like, girl, if you're gonna do it right. Okay? Get people a good audio experience. And since this is mostly audio anyway, it's like we can't slack on audio. Okay. Anywho. So yeah, I was saying that letting go of the studio was one of the best decisions of my life. Oh, and that how when I share stuff with y'all, it sort of be like after the fact, okay? It's after I process things, after I made decisions on certain things, after I feel confident enough and secure to make those decisions. So just behind the scenes, I have been going back and forth with keeping my studio or letting go of my studio for months, okay? And now that I'm in the position where, man, I feel like this stuff is going to be so out of order, but whatever. I'm officially fully moved out of the studio. Like, I don't have the studio anymore. I don't go down there anymore. I turn in the keys, everything. That vlog is going to be on the main channel, okay? I'm super behind in editing just because there's been a lot of transitions going on, but I'm just super grateful that I made that decision because I've just been able to rest. I've been able to rest. I've been able to chill. I've been able to enjoy this pregnancy so much. And I'm so, so grateful for that. And it's just been so affirming to me, like, girl, whenever you let go of something, it's not about letting go. It's actually, you actually open up an opportunity for something bigger, greater, more amazing, you know. And of course, sometimes like we know that, we hear that, but at the same time, it's the fear of the unknown. And you're like, okay, well, I don't know what that looks like. You know, you're so used to a certain life, and to change it or to let go of something, you feel like, damn, am I really like letting go a part of who I am? Like, what is the next phase without this thing that I'm used to? What does that phase of my life look like? And because I don't know, I'm afraid to let this go, you know? But I'm just so happy that like I trusted myself, you know, like I trusted myself. I felt in my intuition that it was time to let it go. And yeah, so I just want to share that with y'all. Like, I don't know, hopefully if that resonates with somebody, if somebody just needs to hear like actually letting go isn't the end. It's actually could be a beautiful beginning to something absolutely incredible and extraordinary, then like, here's your sign, boo. Okay. But the camera is gonna go in and out. Should we get the other camera? Arrivederci. I'm doing my pregnant thing. All of my camera batteries are dead. Like I haven't vlogged in so long. It's like then I'm direct sunlight. Huh? Don't leave your phone in direct sunlight. Yeah. Then I'm gonna have it just a little sip of the coffee. It just looks so fucking good. I'm back here sipping this tea like. I mean, we could at least put some honey in the tea, babe. Like, damn. No, the tea is delicious. It's just not coffee. Mm-hmm. I don't need the honey. I gotta get you some herbal coffee. That's it. How you doing? I couldn't find. It's about to smell anyway. It is. I couldn't find my GoPro. Like I've been on a journey, but yeah, no, I'm good. Ain't it beautiful out here? Mm-hmm. All right, well, let me finish talking to people. Go on in. Oh, you recording now? Yeah, this is what I was getting set up. No, I mean, are you live? Oh yeah. Rolling. Yeah. You want me to set you up a sunshade? You with your electronics in direct sunlight. You don't have a problem. All right, you gonna give me a sunshade? I'm already sweating. It's already getting hot. That okay? Is that too distracting? Yeah, no, that's great. Okay. No, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Thanks, babe. Yeah. Y'all know Andy the tech man. He got me all set up. We squared away that. We good to go. Okay, we got the GoPro. Let's see what that do. Okay, so yeah, letting go. Okay. The art of letting go. Why do I talk about letting go every time? Because it can be so hard. It can be so hard to let go. But anywho, so yeah, this past weekend, and you know, I think I've talked about this at some point, probably on a main channel. Okay, let me also just like, we're just about to chat today. She's in a chatty mood. Hey, she ready to chit chat with the people. I've come to a lot of realizations about what I want to do, how I want to show up, right, on these platforms. And I feel like with some of this sort of like chatty kind of stuff, when I'm processing my healing diaries, all the different things, I'm like, girl, maybe that's not a main channel thing. Like, your main channel started as your art. Let's keep it around your art. At the same time, do I want to interweave some of these life lessons, some of these things that I'm processing? Absolutely, because I feel like it's so connected to my art in general and what I do. So it doesn't feel misaligned. It just feels like I might be limiting my reach if I'm going so deep on certain topics. And I feel like the people on the Gemini Diary over here just talks, having something going on in the background, reflecting, hearing maybe what's going on in my life as well. And this is also a low lift when it comes down to editing versus on my main channel. I like for that to look nice. I like to look nice, like to present it well. If it's something educational, I actually got a Canvas video coming up really soon where I'm talking about the process of canvases and like, oh no, my canvas fails. That's what's going to be on the main channel. There's just like so many videos that I have in the pipeline. But the reality, like, here's what I'm realizing. It's just also lessons that I've learned after 5 years of being on YouTube. Yes, I've learned so many lessons, and the reality of it is that editing takes so much time. And I get it. There's people out here who hire editors, do all the different things. I'm not in that position yet. Like, YouTube is not making me nowhere near enough money to have more money come out than already has came out. When it came down to GoPro cameras, and actually this was gifted. Okay, never mind. When it goes down to my other cameras, microphones, lighting, just different things that I've invested over the years, like I still, yeah, whatever. Like it don't matter about like breaking even or like whatever the margins were, because that's not even why I started YouTube. I did start YouTube to just like share my art and connect with other artists. And so I feel like I'm doing that. I want to continue to do that. But as this child is on the way, on the way, third trimester, y'all. Should I tell y'all? I ain't gonna tell y'all. It don't matter how many weeks I am. Okay, just know I'm in the third trimester, because I also feel like I want a little bit of continuity where this isn't too far off the mark on the main channel. But whatever. I mean, it's already gonna be off the mark because I just told y'all that I completely moved out of the studio. But yeah, so I'm just getting more clear on some of that, and I feel like the people who vibe with me on this channel like genuinely just wanna chat it up, just want to be connected, just want to hear what's going on, maybe just want to hear some life lessons and some healing diaries that I'm going through, so maybe it could help them in their life. So like, I love that. If y'all want to be here rambling with me, we can ramble all day, honey, because I could do it all day. So the thing that came to me, and I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but it's along the lines of something that I talked about on my main channel. And I talked about, like, I sort of had like some healing diary videos on the main channel. And I think one of them was like, it was something like, I've healed and now I don't have any goals. Let me actually look. Oh, it was, I gained self-love but lost my drive. Okay, or lost my motivation. Okay, because I don't even want to click on it and just start playing. But yes, and with the title, it said, damn. And that, okay, so this is what's coming back up again, even especially just with this pregnancy, just how good I've been feeling, just how like zen I've been, how I've just been able to rest, how I've just like let go of so much, how I'm minimizing my business and just like taking this moment to be really intentional, to be present. And it made me think about the other video. And I love, what's my girl on YouTube? I love Kennedy J. She does these weekly vlogs. It just be like random. It's like just perfect girl chit chat to just like have going on in the background. Okay, while you cleaning the house, while you doing whatever. I like just stuff like that. Sometimes it depends on the day. Okay, so it depends on the day. But this is one of the days where I was watching one of the Kennedy's vlogs, and she mentioned that as well. I didn't even finish the vlog, so I'm not really sure like where she went with that. But it did remind me of the video that I posted about 2 years ago, where I talked about just like my healing journey. And like when you do heal and when you gain so much self-love, your motivations and priorities change, where you don't want the same things anymore. Like you don't want to have this big fancy car, this big house, or be famous, or be all out in the limelight, or like do all these things that you once thought would validate you or give you some level of self-love. It's like when you do cultivate that within yourself, you good. Like you just good sitting in the grass. Okay. And that's how I feel. I just feel like I'm good sitting in the grass and just like living my best life peacefully. And I'm so grateful for that. But okay, here was the thing though that came to mind. And this is also why I even want to share this with y'all, because I feel like we're in alignment spiritually, okay, on that level. So I always be talking about my existential dread and why, and I be like, why are we here? What are we doing? I actually have a video talking about this on the main channel as well, talking about like spiritual pitfalls, or I think it was something like I healed so much, then I got like depressed, just like, you know, you can sort of go down these rabbit holes. And when you realize like, oh, wow, okay, I'm getting hella existential. Like, what are we doing here? What's the meaning of life? It can be like a slippery slope into depression and nihilism and just this darkness. And so, oh, too woke. That was the thing. That was the title. No, that was the thumbnail on the main channel where I talked about that. Maybe I'll link some of that here if I remember, because I just be super lazy with a Gemini. I be like, see y'all on the flip side in the description. Like, go to the other channel if you're really trying to go there. But I want this channel to kind of be those talks where we can like go deep. So I do have a video on the main channel talking about being too woke, and then how it led me to this like spiritual depression, right? And so specifically for us, for like spiritual beings, creative beings, highly sensitive, highly intuitive beings, it can feel like too much. I know for me, right? Like, let me speak on me. These my diaries. Hey, let me not project onto you. I don't know what you're going through. But if you anything like me, then like maybe you in the same lane, especially with everything going on in the world, right? Okay, so we could be on our healing journey, on our spiritual journey, all these different things. And like after you've done so much work on yourself, you feel like, okay, well, like I'm good. Like I ain't got no goals, okay? I ain't got no drive. I ain't got no motivation to do anything. I'm not trying to hustle. I'm not trying to grind. Like I literally could be laying in the grass, looking at these honeybees, eat these buttercup flowers. Like I just am in awe of nature and Mother Earth, you know? And so for people like that, I think it's beautiful to be in that place. But I also think, so let me just speak on me. Here's where I feel like I'm transitioning, right? I feel like I was in just a heaviness, right? We all got to heal at some point. You're trying to figure out who you are in your early 20s. I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 in June. So you in your early 20s, you're trying to figure out, girl, what the hell? Okay. Who am I? What am I? Da, da, da. Went through that phase, did my art career, still doing my art career, will continue to do it, sharing different messages and creativity through the paintings that I'm making. And so now transitioning into your 30s, which of course I feel like now the girls is waking up. Okay. The secret is out that the 30s is lit. Okay. The secret is out, honey. The secret's out. I love this for us. I love that more people are understanding that like 30s is not the end. It is the beginning of a whole new journey of self-confidence, of self-love, of empowerment, of embodiment, especially when you've done the work in your 20s. Okay, so shout out to the girls. Shout out to the girls who entered in 30s like just full of light and life. Love that for you. Because that's where I feel like I was, right? So on that journey, self-healing journey, and then start to be like, well, damn, like I'm good. Like I kind of don't need nothing. Like, I mean, I already had my husband, but I'm also like, I'm also still my own sovereign being where like my identity isn't wrapped up in my partner. It's not wrapped up in kids. Like I didn't even have kids yet. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I felt so embodied just being me outside of whatever things that I was accumulating, you know. I'm loving the birds. Like, I hope y'all are getting the bird soundtrack. I do have noise cancellation on, so it might be a little bit lower, but whatever. They kind of wilding out. Like, they kind of, anywho. So I've just always felt like just confident in just being me, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Then we made the decision to start a family. I'm currently pregnant now, 3rd trimester, super grateful. It's just been super beautiful. And just like, I just need to give myself my flowers. Like I've done so much work and like, I am just so proud of the woman that I am now because I just built sis brick by brick. I really did. I built her brick by brick. I was so intentional on my journey and I'm so grateful for that. And I want to give myself my flowers and I'm not trying to dim my light in any way. Like, girl, shine on. Okay. You did that. You are that. You that girl, period. Okay. So I genuinely feel like I'm that girl that I have built custom exactly how I want to be. Like when it comes down to how I show up, how I present, how my hair is, what I'm painting, what I'm creating, who my partner is, how this pregnancy has been. Like I'm doing it my way 1,000% on, period. Okay. And I love that so much for me. And it's been a journey of healing. And so then when you get to like a self-love place, a healing place, you're like, well, like I'm good. I kind of don't have any goals, kind of don't have any motivation. And so 2 years ago in that video, I was talking about that. And that also kind of like, when you don't really have any goals, you feel kind of aimless a little bit. You feel like, well, damn, like, well, what am I working towards, you know? And I genuinely do feel like that we're light beings having a human experience, right? We've probably heard that a lot in the sort of spiritual community. I do feel like that. I feel that we're light beings having a human experience. We down here to learn, play, and grow. We come back if we haven't gotten that message. We come back again if we really need to get that we come back as many times as necessary. And we're here to, at the end of the day, play the game of life. And you get to decide what that game looks like for you. And so I'm down here playing the game of life and being in my own movie, being the main character in my own movie and crafting a narrative how I want it to be. And I love that. And I have fun in that knowing. And it's not like, you know, I go back and forth with like nothing matters and also everything matters. So because I do feel that we are our own sovereign beings, like we get to choose, we get to decide what we gonna do on this planet. Are we manifesting everything that comes into our life? No. I feel like life is too interconnected to think that, oh, I'm gonna have one thought and it's about to shift the entire fabric of the galaxies. No. Okay. It does not work like that at all. I feel like the planet and the world is bound by so many systems and laws and seasons and cycles. So many of them are outside of our control, but there's so much that's going on within our own micro galaxy, micro system within our body and our mindset that we are influencing within our individual lives. And so when we take control of that sort of microcosm, now it can have an impact on the macrocosm. But the macrocosm is constantly affecting our microcosm. That's why, like in a full moon, shit be popping off. You be feeling this type of way. When the winter times come and the sun is not out, maybe you could be affected by seasonal depression. Like there's so many different things that are outside of our doing that affect us. But then once you know the cycles and the seasons, cool. Maybe you know in wintertime, you get seasonally depressed. All right, you start taking your vitamin D supplements. You start maybe taking like, a trip to a sunny place. You go to Cali maybe once in the winter just to kind of like freshen you up, to like boosting up your vibrations. You go to Arizona to just get bathed in the light before you come back to the Pacific Northwest where it's cloudy for 5 months straight, okay? So you just start implementing different things to help you along on the journey. And you do those things with an understanding that it's not you, because I feel like back in the day, I used to be so guilty. I used to feel so bad for feeling bad. Whenever I felt bad, now it was this cycle of shame and guilt that just kept me spiraling. I talked about that on the main channel too as well. It was like some of my inner child healing, shame and guilt or something. Like, okay, I've processed a lot over here. Okay. But I'm like, yeah. And then what was interesting about me even shifting the content on the main channel, I felt like I sort of went down this healing diaries chapter on the main channel, and like people were resonating with that, which I love, but I also didn't want to, I kind of didn't want to be like, the word that came to mind, this isn't what I fully mean, but I feel like you can kind of get it. The phrase that came to mind is that I didn't want to be quote unquote prostituting my pain. And so, of course, sharing what you're going through isn't prostituting your pain for the internet or for YouTube or whatever. Because a lot of people, I know for me, I get so many messages and downloads from whenever I'm hearing other people process their thoughts. So I know how helpful this can be for other people. But I also feel like I didn't want to be incentivized to share dark moments or to share like my healing journey or unpacking my childhood trauma. I didn't want to be incentivized to do more of those if those videos got more views. And some of those like videos would get I feel like they got like a lot more engagement, maybe not more views, but I think they got more comments just because I was talking about deeper things and it was more things for people to comment on. But, also just felt like, yeah, I didn't even want to go down this lane. And I also didn't want to have to be like, being that vulnerable on the internet, because deep down, I knew I want to grow. I know I want to grow. I know I'm going to continue to grow. And I do still want like a level of, I do just want to have like emotional and mental and spiritual boundaries with the internet, because yeah, so I feel like that sort of sums that up. But, okay, coming back to the healing diaries and feeling like this spiral of shame and feeling like, whenever stuff can go quote unquote wrong in your life. And now at this phase of my life, I don't believe in like a right or wrong. It's just sometimes things just is what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with you. This was outside of your control. It's not right that he did this or she did that or they did that. Like we're all living our own individual lives and we're making decisions based on the past experience we've had, whether good or bad. And there's just so many things that I'm just like realizing is outside of my control. At the same time, there's a lot of things that are within my control. So I'm just going to do what is within my control and just go from there, But when I've been on a journey, right, of the healing diaries, and it's not even like the healing journey is ever over, What I've also realized and come to the realization is like, you don't even need healing. Like nothing is broken, nothing's broken. We just on this journey and we learning through every chapter. And of course, like if you feel like you need to heal through certain things, like if you've been through something where you specifically like, I do feel like I need to heal this specific thing. Cool. Like, that's up to you. But I just feel like sometimes we can get in this healing trap. Oh, did I talk about that? I was actually going to talk about that. I did. I talked about this. Like, this video is like 6 months old or something, and I haven't even released it. But in one of the paintings that I was working on, maybe I can talk about it here and I can like have this clip. As I was talking on the main channel about the healing diaries and unpacking all the childhood, all the inner healing, the shadow work, all the different things that your girl was going through. I also feel like I just came to the realization how just like the healing journey in itself can be a trap. Like, you can constantly feel like you need to heal instead of living, And I realized that I've just been on the journey where I see that there's so much polarity in life, but there's no good or bad. There's just so many things that's like relative, subjective, based on perspective, based on whatever the person is going through. And I just feel like the healing journey, if you stay in it too long, it can be a trap, And so, and I also feel like you can connect too much with this human experience that can keep you bound in circumstances where you aren't pursuing other things, you aren't doing other things because like you feel like, no, before I do that, I have to heal. Before I do X, I have to do this, which granted, I think can be good, okay? Because I do feel like as I'm on this journey of motherhood, okay, as she's in the 3rd trimester, and of course being with my partner, being with my husband for, is it 18 years now? We've been together since high school. We've been married for 10 years. So we got married when we was 25. Now we're 35. Yeah, okay, clearly. So to have waited as long as I did wait, it wasn't, to be real, it was about the healing journey. It was about me wanting to get to a state mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially as well, where I felt comfortable making the big decision of motherhood and parenthood with my partner, So I think doing things in stages can be beneficial, but I also can just see how certain things can be traps. And I'm constantly just trying to be aware of the different traps in my life and the different decisions that I'm making, or the different things that I'm stopping myself from doing because I'm feeling like I have to do something else first in order to do that. And I feel like I made the right decision for me with this motherhood journey and everything. Like, I wouldn't change anything if I had to go back. I truly feel like I did what's right. Like, me and Andy did what's right for us. Okay. Our family might not have felt that they was really pressing. Okay. They was really pressing, really eager for us to start a family. But I feel like we did what's right, what's best for us. And it that feels good and in alignment. But when I do connect back to the source that's within me and remind myself that we are these light beings having a human experience, and we are down here playing the game of life, being the main character in our own movie, and deciding that I get to play it out how I want. I don't want certain things to limit me, and I noticed in the past how I can get trapped in certain cycles. And I noticed how in the past, even specifically with the painting that I was working on, how I can get even caught up in some of these material, physical things. And in that painting, it was the self-portrait. And I found myself trying to like incorporate different things that I was going through, which I think is great. I mean, as artists, we do that, and that's fine. But I also had a moment, it was like, ooh, you know what, Aramis? You don't have to attach to every emotion. You don't have to attach to every thought. You don't have to attach to every story. And how can you actually just be the witness and remind yourself that you actually are a character in a play? And so that's why I put the Phantom of the Opera mask on that portrait, because it felt like, remember, don't forget. And it's so crazy. I stopped watching Black Mirror seasons ago. Yeah, probably like season 1. Okay, I just realized that they're on season 7, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, Black Mirror is just way too dark for me. It gets my chakras all out of alignment. Okay. And I can't watch Black Mirror. But Andy watched it. He like it. And he is curate, kind of like with TikTok. He curates my TikToks. Okay. He curates. If there's something that he's like, no, babe, this is really good. You need to watch this. Then I'll watch it. Okay. So he recently told me about the one with Issa Rae. And I love Issa Rae. He knows that. And so he's like, babe, Issa Rae is in this one. Okay. You got to watch this one. I was like, okay. It's the one Hotel Riviera. Raviri, am I pronouncing it right? It's the hotel one when she's an actress, whatever. No spoilers alert, but essentially she got caught up in the simulation. Okay. She got really caught up in the simulation. And I think it's interesting that we also seeing some of that now with like ChatGPT. Like they're saying like people are like falling in love with ChatGPT and just, I don't know, there's just why I love Black Mirror, but hate it at the same time is like it's so many overlaps to our real life and our real human existence. And also it's so relevant to the times that we live in now when it comes down to technology and the integration of like the human experience with technology. So yeah, so this episode was actually really good. No spoilers, but it just reminded me of that. Like you're in a movie. Okay, you're in a movie. And so how do you want to show up? What scenes do you want to create? What worlds do you want to create? And that's why I love being an artist, because like I get to create these magical, beautiful worlds through a painting, you know? Okay, so now going back to, I feel like I'm going to clip that in the main channel. It'll probably be like where I'm talking about the healing trap. But over here, getting back to the conversation with the Gemini diary, not her sweating. She's fully sweating. I'm going to have to add an electrolyte pack to this to make sure that your girl gets some deep hydration. But anywho, okay, so I had to remember that, ooh, you kind of getting caught up in the healing trap a little bit. Don't get too lost in this. Don't feel like you got to keep adding shit to the thing. Because Andy was like, look, okay, so this is like a little bit of a side note, but hey, since we rambling and chatting it up on a Gemini diary. So Andy's always wanted kids, right? Ever since we were even in high school. So he was my prom date. And so mind you, like, you know, in prom, like senior year, like I'm 17. Now it was kind of like my birthday's early. So I was kind of just like always the younger kid. So, you know, senior year, I'm 17, he 18. And he talking about kids and shit. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? Boy, okay. So I was like, no, what are you? I mean, not like he was saying like, let's have a baby, but he just, ever since we were young, he's just always talked about kids and loving kids and want to have kids. So I was like, okay, yeah, like, let's wait till we grow up. Okay. So he's like, no, of course, no pressure, babe, like whatever, but just know, like, I love you. I'm like, okay, I love this man too. Like, this is my guy. Okay. So since he wanted the kids, I was like, okay, well, wait, we got to do a few things. I'm like, first, you got to marry me. He like, okay. So we get married. Then after we get married, he like, okay, you know, you ready? I'm like, no, we gotta have a house. Like we had a 1-bedroom house. Like, no, you gotta buy me a house. He buys us a house. He like, okay, babe, you ready for the baby? I was like, we gotta get this bathroom renovated. He was like, you know what? No, okay, I'm drawing the line. No. I mean, I was kind of like a little bit off, but I did say that. I did say like, can we get the bathroom renovated before the baby? He was like, babe, like, you really doing too much. You really doing too much. I was just testing. I was testing to see how much he would give me before. I just feel like women are in control of relationships. This is why I'm so excited. Like, we don't know the gender and it doesn't matter. Of course, I've talked about that before, but I feel like if I have a daughter, there's just so much I would share and so much I would tell her. I feel like as women, we are such beautiful, magical, intuitive, phenomenal beings. And when it comes down to relationships, we are in so much control. Like, I don't think we realize how much control we have in a relationship, but that's a whole nother side note. So it's like, yeah, girl, like you got to set the standards. You got to set the parameters. Okay. You got to be like, no, I'm not doing this to this. And they be like, okay, if you with the right man, they will comply. Okay. Maybe not renovate the bathroom, but it's coming soon. But anywho, yeah, I just feel like, man, I would just put my daughter on so much game, and my son too. I feel like, oh no, he will be dangerous if I told him everything. He would be dangerous. He would be a dangerous boy. Anywho, so what was I about? Oh yeah, so it's just like having all these different steps, like keep putting all these building blocks to stop yourself from like just living, you know? And of course, how I mentioned, I don't regret anything. I don't feel like I waited too long. Like I genuinely feel like it all worked out how I wanted it to work out. And I'm so grateful for that. But just being aware of the traps, right? So once I got past like the traps, once I got past the sort of like nihilism, and y'all know I still be dealing with that. So it's not even getting past that. Okay. Once I just realized how they say in existentialism, imagine Sisyphus happy. Okay. Imagine Sisyphus happy pushing the boulder up the hill. Google that. Okay. So I can't break all that down right now, but just imagine Sisyphus happy. So I'm like, you know what? Yes, life is about just pushing this big ass boulder up the hill. Yeah. It don't matter. It's that simple. It's that basic. At the end of the day, imagine yourself happy on that journey. So that's what I'm imagining myself to be. But then it was like, okay, well, damn, I'm feeling good, got self-love, been on the healing journey. I don't have no goals. Like, what am I doing down here? And I feel like this is the next level unlocked where now you help people. Now you go back, Sankofa, okay? Now you go back and you help people on their journey. And now this could be a tricky conversation, especially when for some of us, part of our healing journey was healing from people pleasing, like always feeling like we gotta help, we gotta do things, especially for me, just like being a nurse before, like I would just always love helping people and healing people and like being, seeing the beauty in them and trying to encourage them, inspire them, and just remind like, girl, you that girl, just trying to motivate and inspire people and end up just giving so much and then leaving myself with the empty cup. Just because I had to even heal from that, it can feel difficult to go back and help people because you feel like, ooh, like you see those alarm bells coming back up of your past self when you were a people pleaser. But I think the key difference here, though, is like when you a people pleaser, that's coming from a place of insecurity. That's coming from a place of like, I hope they like me. Like this is coming from a place of you giving something, you over giving, hoping that you're going to get something back in return, hoping that you're going to now get validation or love or approval from that person. So at the end of the day, like the task is still the same. The task of helping somebody is the same. But when you people pleasing, it's coming from a place of insecurity. When you over here genuinely giving to somebody, not expecting anything in return, but literally like just giving from your overflow, because like you've been on your healing journey. So you feeling good. You like, well, damn, like I'm good. But then you look around in the world and you like, but everybody else not good. So what can I do to help? What can I do to contribute? How can I show up? How can I still give? Because sometimes you feel like on the healing journey, especially if you got to the phase where you like, well, damn, I don't have any goals. It's time to create new goals. But now those goals involve other people. Now that involves the community, the village, your family, your friends, your kids, And so I think some of us, if you anything like me, okay, if you anything like me, who was one, child free by choice, or if you end up having kids later in life, a lot of the thought process was like, yeah, a lot of it was selfishness. I feel like I just couldn't even think about nobody. I was like, I don't even want, girl, please. I can't even think about nobody else right now. Like, I'm just so self-absorbed. That's being the honest truth. That's being honest truth. And I also feel like child-free women by choice get a bad rap about that. They get this like, oh, you're selfish. You're selfish. So, like, let me be selfish. Like what is wrong? I feel like there's such this thing in society where women, you constantly have to be giving or over giving, pouring from an empty cup. It's like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm over that. So I just went through a season of life of just pouring so much into me. And I poured so much into myself that I end up overflowing and feeling like, well, damn, I want to give to somebody else. Like now I'm so fully embodied. I want to give. It is a full conscious decision that I'm making to be a portal for another divine being to enter this planet. It's such an intentional decision and not a decision from, oh, this child is about to fix me, fix a marriage, do anything. They have the right to be their own sovereign being because I don't need nothing from them. I don't need nothing. And that's such a beautiful place to just to be able to give from an overflow. And that's why I feel like when you are on the healing journey, that it can be like, well, damn, I ain't got no goals. I don't got nothing else to do. Now I feel like it is divine law to give. Like, so y'all know we got hella apple trees back here, right? So with the apple trees and the plum trees, we can't eat all the apples here. If we don't share those apples, they end up rotting. Okay. It just end up being apples back here is rotting. The animals coming trying to get it. It smells like apple cider vinegar. It's like we have to give to our neighbors. We have to give, and that's such a beautiful place to be in when you're in a place of abundance. So when I think about like now going back to that helping side that I sort of ran away from because I felt like I was getting too much from people and people weren't reciprocating or whatever, trying like having this like people pleasing energy. Now I want to come back to helping, but now I got a whole different energy about it. It's a whole different vibration, even though that the action in itself is the same, which is helping somebody. So I specifically just even want to share that and encourage the people who have been on a healing journey, who feel like they don't have any goals and like they're like, damn, well, I don't want to be famous. Ain't nobody trying to be whatever. Da, da, da. Cool, boo. Great. But there's still work to be done in the world. There's still people who need our help. There's still places where we can show up. There's still opportunities out here, especially in like other countries. Sure, in America too. Like, of course, I hate when we sort of be like, oh, let's go somewhere else to help. Like, no, people need help here in the States too. But also there's so much opportunity to help people all over around the world. So much going on with, we don't got to name it all, okay? We really don't have to go name it all. I just went down a rabbit hole when it came down to everything going on in Sudan right now, okay? So we don't even need to talk about the specifics, but just know that even if you good, even if you don't have any goals, there's still people out here who still need our help and we can show up. And I also feel like that's also an opportunity to set the balance right, because this orange president, okay, this man got energy for days. And there's something about the dark side. Okay, look, not I'm talking about let the force be with you. There's something about the dark side. Okay, there's something about that anger. There's something about that fear that can be such a fuel for people. Because like for me, when I just be seeing people like causing harm on other people, I'm like, why, bruh? Like, who has the energy? Like, I don't even, why? Like, just live your life. Why do you care so much about who somebody is attracted to? Why do you care if somebody wants to have a baby or not? Why do you care about women's bodies so much? Why do you care about that? Like, let people live their life, And so when I see that, I'm like, oh, these are actually coming from deep insecurities these people already have within themselves. What I am saying is that there is something that I've noticed about people who need to heal, how driven they can be, because there is something about not being healed that can be so motivating, that can be so, those insecurities, those fears can be such a fuel for you that can keep you going, keep you pushing, keep you fighting. And then when you finally heal and you be like, you know what, I'm actually good, you lose so much of that sort of motivation to push. And so I feel like that's why the sort of light beings here, spiritual people, it's like, yeah, we just want to be out in the trees somewhere. We just want to unplug. We just want to put our head in the sand. But I feel like, I don't think we should do that. I feel like we still need to show up even more and even more from a place of spiritual abundance to help the world. Because the darkness will continue to thrive if we aren't here to help counterbalance it. Like that's how I genuinely feel. I genuinely feel that like we still need to show up, and it's even more of a time for you to show up in a place of spiritual abundance and not from a place of fear and insecurity where you were just helping just to get something back in return. Now you genuinely helping because you genuinely want to see other people around you thrive, So I'm just in that season in my life right now where I'm transitioning to be like, man, how can I help the world? How can I show up even more from this beautiful place? And what does that look like? Now, does that mean like going over to Sudan and, sending water to Gaza? Like, I mean, sure, if that's what that looks like for you, but also if that just looks like calling your friends more, checking in on your friend who just had a baby. Does she need, you run into Costco, hey sis, do you need some diapers? I could pick you up some more diapers. They got the whole box of wipes up there. You know what I mean? It can also be simple things in your village, in your community, in your friendship circle. It don't gotta be grand, but I'm just saying this for myself as well and encouraging myself to like not unplug, not to give up, not to just put my head in the sand, especially during a season where it can feel so bleak, but especially when I've been on a transition where I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of good. Like they can do whatever they want to do, but like, I'm just about to be here chilling, like in the backyard. It's like, yeah, girl, you chilling in your beautiful, abundant backyard, you glowing and shit, your baby and your man and your house and da-da-da-da. What about the rest of the world though? So if you are really a character in your own movie, wouldn't you want to be the hero? Like, wouldn't you want to be the girl in the movie where you like, man, she must did that? Like, if this is your opportunity to play your game, what does that game look like? And for me, the people that I love is the people who are helping to make change in the world, positive change in the world. And of course, everybody don't have to feel like that, especially when it comes down to Black women. We've already done so much. Okay. We tired of saving the world. Well, I don't need to be no hero. I don't need no cape. We need to shed. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. I get it. I hear you 1,000%. At the same time, I just feel like there's still an opportunity to just help and to be present and to give back. And it doesn't even have to be this, oh, Black woman savior complex or a strong, independent Black woman. Like, no, my identity, this is my shell. This is the shell that I've decided to house on this planet where I'm having this human experience and playing the game. This ain't who I truly am. I'm connected to something that's beyond, greater than this beautiful melanin skin that I'm still grateful to house. But at the end of the day, that's not the finality of who I am. So just because I'm a Black woman who already feels like Black women have done enough for America and the world, I can still show up, I can still show up because that's just what I feel called to do. And that's what I feel like part of my, that's what I want my experience to look like while I'm here on this planet, Yeah, I don't know. These was just some thoughts. Okay. These was just some thoughts. She had a lot of thoughts. These was just some thoughts, y'all. I did put on sunscreen on my face, but I didn't put no sunscreen on my belly. Let me get in. Let me cool down. Let me get some electrolytes in my water. But I hope this served you in any way. Oh, the hummingbird. I hope this served you in any way. Let me know in the comments. Okay. Like, let me know what stage you feel like you at on your journey. Okay. Do you feel like you just starting your healing spiritual journey? You feel like you deep in the thick of it? Okay. Do you feel like, okay, you kind of moving out of it and you like, man, I feel like I got the self-love. Like, I ain't got no goals. I ain't got, like, what am I about to do? Or you feel like, okay, cool, you done been through all those 3 stages. Look, the 3 stages of the healing journey. Is that what this is? Look, the 4 stages. Or now you feel like you're at the 4th stage where you're like, cool, I've been through the different stages. I don't have no goals, but now I'm creating goals of helping and serving and giving back to people. Let me know in the comments where y'all at. I hope this serves you. Sending y'all all my love, all my light. I'm going to get back to editing the videos on the main channel, okay? So I just don't be rambling here on the Gemini Diary. I hope y'all are well. Thank y'all so much for y'all comments. Like, I feel like this is kind of like one of my favorite little spaces on the internet, okay? But I hope y'all are well. Let me know what y'all up to in the comments, okay? We'll talk soon. Peace out.